Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Friends, adventurers, welcome back to Tavern Talk. So, we're grateful here na sinamahan niyo ulit kami sa isa na namang adventure that we're going to have today. A great talk with everyone. So, for this session, we're going to be joined again by Gigi and RM, and we're going to talk about how we build our characters para sa mga campaigns that we have and we're going to have in the futures, and one shots, how we approach them, how we role play them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But first, you're going to listen to us talking about our preferences about online and face-to-face games, since marami ngayon sa internet are talking about what's better, online or face-to-face games. So we're going to give you our opinions about it. So without further ado, here's session 1 of Tavern Talk.
Before talaga ako yung siguro I could say if we're talking about online versus face-to-face, I was really adamant na parang I would just host face-to-face. I can't do online properly back then. Kasi parang I still have to get a mic, learn about the tools pa. It was so much simpler back then, a pen and paper. And it's also a little bit interesting, interactive with the player kasi they get to manually erase the health points, manually like write notes, or write details. I remember sila, I guess yung player dito before, si Jess, she really gets into character kasi she would write about notes, and then before we take a break she would ask about the world na parang RM, how's like the culture of this town, or how is the outdoors like, parang ganun. And then
So in ano talaga, in immerse talaga siya sa sa whole world na ginawa mo.
Yeah. So parang doon na tapos doon na explain, and then when we continue, yun siguro yung nagustuhan ko kay Jess is that she only says one-liners lang talaga yung character niya doon. Pero it was always on the right timing. Kaya sobrang funny siya kasi always right timing ang pasok niya. You know, she listens to everyone even though nagsasapawan.
Wait,
Si
paano one-liners? Paano?
Yeah, like one line lang. Pebble. Pan. Pero I mean, it was only the example, pero it was apt on the situation. Like it was apt on the context. Kasi the banter of the party back then was, the loud ones was Rufy. Gigi, you met Rufy. He's really loud. He has like this big personality. And then you also met Jiro, the one when we did the miniature painting. He also is one. And si Jiro and si Rufy, si Jiro is more comfortable winging it. He improvs on the fly. And then Rufy would just add on to that. Pero the wittiest one, si Albert. And you also met that, you play with them. And those three, yung pag nagbabanter yan, very loud yan on the table. Yung tatlo, when they're all three face-to-face, yeah, I would just shut up. Kasi they would overlap talaga. And then every time to cut yung banter nilang tatlo, that's when Jess comes in. That's just one line. And three of them would shut up with that. And then we will push on with that.
Kumbaga siya yung nagiging deterrent ng tatlo. Or
So
Like maybe like
yung dynamic nun.
yeah, like the one that like sort of grounds them.
Tapos yun, nung online nga, pagdating nga pala, following nga dun sa online, when Riavi na already messaged me, that's when I like swallowed my face-to-face gatekeeping pride and said,
grabe naman dun sa gatekeeping.
Yeah, as in back then talaga I was like this elitist in the hobby. I wasn't open, like parang I was like looking at other like table groups na parang, why you just play online, like parang like snooty. It was really bad play for me back then. And I guess if I was streaming back then or doing something that needs clout or attention, I might be the villain at the end of the day or being canceled is not nowadays. You know
You
what I
should
mean?
change your name to canceled.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kasi,
cancelled too.
kasi before I was like, oh, no, parang the only way to play D&D is face to face. Diba? Ako yung like back then ganun. Ganun na ganun. So I swallowed all that and so I gave online a shot. And our first game was on Roll20 na. I read up Roll20. I watched it. I watched tutorials na on how to run Roll20 and all that stuff. And ayun na. Doon ko na nakilala si Miguel and si Riavi. They two were the first ones who I hosted an online game with.
Oh, so
And
two players yung original group mo.
na online, yeah, na online. Yeah.
Reyavi, then
Miguel.
Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel.
Was that
So-
Wolf of Wotan, or like is that Tailspire era na? Like what was the first Roll20 game?
That was both. Kasi I was setting up na may Roll20.
Oh.
Then Riavi told me na parang, oy RM, you might like this. Kasi nga, I described to Riavi how I DM na but at this point, naka-transition na ako to miniature painting, props making. I was already planning to buy a 3D printer at that point. So, yun. Kaya na-push sa akin ni Riavi na parang, RM, check this out. It's just like up in your alley, pero online, pasok. And then that's when I saw Tailspire and, I was hooked. And I said, okay, mukhang may chance na online to grow on me because of Tailspire. it just bridged yung need ko of having a set piece and minis terrain in the face-to-face, and now it's online. So it bridged that.
Pero aminin mo, RM, it did grow on you. Tailspire grew on you.
Oh yeah, Tailspire grew on me. Kasi Tailspire grew on me to the point na it was like my second home. Kasi when modding came out, when I learned about modding in Tailspire, that's when I got also to the community of modding sa Tailspire and saw some of the modders nga who are also real-life miniature painters na transition to online. Pero basically, I've met people na parang on the same boat as me who loves minis and terrains pag running their sessions. And Tailspire was like their pandemic healing na.
Pandemic healing.
Oh, finally, I can still paint minis. Parang, I can still make terrain, I can still make minis, I can still paint them online. So digital painting and all. So parang, and I guess yung pinaka-pro na that I got for online digital painting is hindi na siya mess. I remember when I was painting minis talaga, it was always a mess. I may have paint on my fingers or on the floor or something. But if you paint digitally, okay lang. Easy to erase, easy to add color. Ganun. Unlike real life painting na if you make a mistake, parang either tatapalan mo isa pang layer ng paint or wash it with alcohol and wait it to dry and then repaint it again. It takes time. So, yun. And then flash forward, ayun na. Binabalance ko na yung both online and face-to-face. But I really do miss online. Not gonna lie. Iba pa rin yung that thing of seeing your players all eyes on you as the DM, all tahimik, like looking at the DM and waiting for the next description that comes out his mouth. Will it be roll for initiative or will it be saving throw? I get that all the time pagka Kaya minsan din yung miss yung face-to-face. But if I ask you guys, kasi I was like telling na the whole how I prefer face-to-face and minis and terrain. Kayo, where do you guys, since you guys play na rin, what do you guys like prefer on your table? If you have like this ideal like no financial obligations needed and all that, what's your ideal D&D setup, parang ganun, or expect from a game?
Oh, for me, okay. Magiging honest ako, I really like face-to-face. Kasi, di ba, nag-run na ako ng 2 sessions ng face-to-face with kasama ng mga pinsan ko. Ang downside lang is hindi sila ganun ka-invested. Yung ilan, hindi ganun ka-invested kasi nagsiscroll sila sa phone. Pero nung nag-run ako, wala akong minis, wala akong terrains. Gumamit kami ng Roll20 for battle maps, then tokens and all. Pero nung nag face to face kami, yun nga, the banter, nagtutulakan sila kung sino yung kakausap dun sa guard, tatakbo agad sila. Pero yeah, I prefer face to face kapag given a chance. Pero yun lang talaga yung downside. Siguro yung player lang din nga na nakasama ko is hindi din masyadong immersed dun sa game, and nag-focus siya sa paglalaro sa phone niya than to roleplay. Unlike nung
Mm.
other yung sa mga kasama niya, sila invested talaga, rolling dice, role playing. Pero yung for online naman, yeah, sa online ako nag-start eh. Dito ako sa Discord natin, sa Discord server natin ako nag-start. Nag-enjoy naman ako sa online kasi 'di ba, parang pinakita din naman ng Dimension 20 yung fun of playing online kasi meron sila mga sessions online, 'di ba? Nung nag-pandemic. So, if given a chance, I would like to do a face-to-face kasi you get to exert all of the energy na meron ka. Parang lahat ng, kumbaga parang nagfi-feed kayo ng energy ng mga kasama nyo. At hindi, unlike sa face-to-face na parang naghihintayan kayo, naghuhulaan kayo or on what's next.
Wait, wait,
Yeah.
na-miss na. Face to face, maghihintayan
Oh,
on
sorry.
what's next.
Sorry. Nawala, no, so,
Other
nawala ba ako?
Other way around.
Okay.
The way around
Sorry.
nga.
Sorry. Okay.
Weird na ako.
Okay.
Sinabi ko yun.
Nawala ba ako? Hindi. Sorry.
Pero I get yung analogy. I just find it na parang online, okay yung banter. Pero sa face-to-face, naghihintayan kung kailan.
Sorry.
Wait a
Baliktad. Sorry.
Baliktad.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. For face-to-face, yun nga. Okay, hindi natin ito i-edit. We'll just leave it as is. Pero ayun nga, for face to face, yun, feed off kayo with energy of each other. Kagaya nun, Signel din yung ate ko. Nag-aanuhan sila kahit merong isang player na hindi masyadong invested. Pero sila nag-aano talaga, nag-feed off sila sa each other with energy ng each other, then ako din. So,
buti naman hindi sila nadidistract dun sa not interested na player, no? Kasi minsan may mga ganun madidistract daw with that eh.
They get distracted, pero nagsasabi na lang ako na we're playing, please earphone para hindi basira yung yung tawag doon, yung immersion. Pero yun nga, kasi pag nakikita ko silang mas hype, parang mas na-hype din akong mag voice over or mag roleplay or i-describe kung paano atake yung skeleton, kung paano sila papahirapan, or sa mga listeners natin dyan, magiging honest ako, I like torturing my players. Let's go. So
Just straight up.
Yun nga, for online naman, so parang nung first session ko nung nag-run tayo ng Cyberpunk, I love the game, pero parang nangangapa din ako since first time playing. Aminado ko noon, Cyberpunk na setting natin. First time playing, and parang nakikipaghintayan ako sa inyo kung paano ba kung paano ba magdi-deal sa situation. Pati naman ngayon, since hindi naman tayo sabay-sabay pwedeng mag-talk kapag online.
Ikaw, Gigi, like in your ideal without any financial problems or something, what would your dream table or be like?
Well, I mean, okay, because it's hard to say things when how playing face to face would go, but I would love to play face to face more. It's just that I've started off online. I've only ever played online, and I've played face to face once, but like, God, do I really want to like actually straight up run something like face to face? Because like, yeah, I like there's this thing with me in particular where I love like fucking moving around and shit. Like, God, like sometimes I would have to like turn like sometimes when I turn cams off and everything, or like I would legit be in like another corner of the fucking room and just like freaking pacing about, like actually fully trying to like be a character and all. And I think that would like bring that kind of stuff to like if I were like to DM and like face to face and like just like adding physicality to things. There's this one time like where I was like playing with like the group I play with now, wherein like I was like looking off to the side. We had cams on. I was looking off to the side, like not in the camera and like where I would assume a character would be, and everyone is asking me like, "Why the fuck are you looking over there?" And I was like, because I think your character's over there," or like I mean, or like who I'm talking to is to that direction, and it was like now we can like if it were face to face, I can like totally excuse that we're being like you can so much more distinctly talk directly to someone, you know. And then like that's also without running into the problems of again like talking over each other. You can actually tell like when things keep going. It's easier to keep the flow face to face. I think I can tell, especially after like the first time I ever played like that. Like you can totally see like the difference in terms of like when people would like start talking and like just it would just keep going because you would just see like when someone would end, someone's like willing to start up or everything, or like just those social cues. Oh my god. If like maps would be so fun. Maps would be so fun. I've always had like this kind of thought of like maybe if at the very least if I were to like to prepare like a game in a perfect world would just try to be like freaking yo, let's get Dwarven Forge, Hero Forge and shit like that on there. Let's go. But like even I can do with something like I don't know, get like make a standee, you know, like get a folder or something, or like two folders, fold it, like add like a paper cutout of a character on there, laminate, or like just put it on a stand or something. Like do the same thing with like monsters. Maybe I really, really, really just want to play face to face more. I wish I had that experience because like it really like varies like online. But there are always going to be problems that cannot be avoided in terms of like talking over. Like it's uh there's this other issue that I think happens sometimes wherein like this happens in a bunch of the tables I've been in where like it's easier to just straight up like multitask, which I guess is like fine. Like people have things to do. Like if you gotta do homework, that's cool. But it's also like if that were face to face, it would be like all attention to the game, you know? Like all attention to the things that we're doing. That's why it's like always gonna be better to like have cams on online. But even then, like not all people are comfortable with that. Some people are doing other things, you know.
Yeah, I understand nga rin. Yun nga eh. It's like hard minsan, pero ano, it is what it is nga. Pero paano ba yan? Ibig sabihin, sa two topics natin, lahat may gusto, minis and terrain, tsaka face-to-face. Wala tayong opposing sa may gusto ng theater of the mind and online.
Wait. Okay. To be fair, okay, let's sing it. If we're going to that, I mean, online and face to face, that's a thing where like you can take in factors like okay, like playing the game with people. I mean, for example, there's CJ's case where like he used Roll20 and everything, but he was still face to face. It's just that you use digital tools, right? So like that's sort of like a different conversation if we put it into like that kind of context. It's like I mean it would be much better if like that things happen, but like that's also just because it's fucking cool, you know? But I'd say that like theater of mind is still like I like theater of mind can satisfy me, honestly. Because like I do like just messing with images in my brain on like how things could look like. I guess at that point it like might just depend on the person on like how much their own minds can like picture a thing. At that point it also depends on like how well a DM can like describe a thing. or like how much detail you can put into that. Because like theater of the mind, it's a lot more. You have to. I think. I don't know if I should say you have to think a lot more of what you have to say, but if anything, you can't just go and say, "Oh, like the room has like you can't just like
Parang
go
mas
say like
specific,
basic things
parang mas
where
specific description pagdating sa theater
yeah,
of
there we
mind.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to be a lot more
I
specific.
agree, yeah. It's almost like reading a book sa theater of the
Mm.
mind. Like when a writer describes a scene, like yung the sweat of the kunyari, main character from pouring from the forehead down to his cheek and looking at the dead body right in front of him. Then i-describe pa ng author yung blood and how it's laid out, where the head is, and
How
what's the yeah.
how the room
It's,
is
uh,
decorated, ganon.
decorated, yeah. Because usually sa mga novels, di ba, ganun yung description before moving on to what the character will be doing in that scene.
Yeah.
Yung action na gagawin niya. Yeah. Theater of the Mind, I guess, yeah, we could put it na parang you're almost like making a novel with your players. And everyone needs to be on the same page, and everyone needs to have like a certain amount of descriptions before ending your turn, parang ganun. So that the
Yeah.
next player and the DM are also on the same page when we move to one scene to another. Parang the weakness siguro of Theater of the Mind if there would be like a miscommunication in the description, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yun yung
Like when players. Sorry, go.
Sorry. Okay. Yun yung magiging magkakaroon ng discrepancy when it comes to the DM and the players. Maybe the DM is planning to let players do something, sabihin natin plan A, pero with that hindi sila nagkaintindihan sa description. The players tried to do the other thing na hindi ina-expect ng DM, the plan B. So, ayun.
Parang yung closest example ko yata is, alam niyo yung game na may piece of paper na ilalagay mo, and then i-draw muna ng isang person, and then based on how you feel sa back, you need to draw it to the next person, yung piece of paper at his back,
Oh,
and then
right.
yung final person would be doing whatever he felt. Parang ganun yung imagine ko sa Theater of the Mind. If sa simula pa lang, weird na yung description, down the line, yung image mo would just translate to blah. Parang ganun. If hindi malinaw yung description, like, lagi ko nga example is if the DM just describes, you enter a room and there is a door.
What kind of door is there?
Like, yeah, wait.
What kind of door? Where is it positioned? How big is the door?
There are so many more blanks.
Is it wood? Is it metal? Diba? Is it what is it made of? Diba? Does it have a knocker? Does it go with a key? Diba? Or is it ano to? As in biglang color, diba? So if the DM starts with that as general as it is, then expect all of your players at the table have all totally different images of the room. And then all of them will just be yun pala yung itsura when the DM maybe shows a picture or backtracks and explains further on what the room. And then everyone was like, oh, okay, that's how it looks. Like, parang ganun.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth you have to make for that. And I'm like, even then, like, there's also the thing where, like, there might be a discrepancy in things that you're supposed to emphasize versus things that you don't, you know? Especially when, like, like, players can't really explore unless they ask questions because, like, they can't physically explore the room. They can't physically see that there's, like, a hole somewhere. And, like, if you misdescribe a thing, say that there's this, like, hole in, like, a room or something, right? Like, some people can think that it's, like a tiny asshole, while some people can think, oh, there is a lot less wall here than it's supposed to be, and like and that can like lead to like different kinds of messages in like terms of like who could have done that, like what they're facing, shit like that.
So speaking of which, yung isang anecdote siguro for CJ to know. Nagganyan ako dun sa face-to-face kasama sila Gigi, sila Miguel, and si Riavi.
Oh.
Ulit, combat encounter na. Ano to, naka-attack na si Miguel. Maganda yung attack niya, nag-land. So, syempre, describe ko as yung Warhammer hits yung creature. And as the Warhammer lands, a piece of its armor removes from its shell and exposed yung muscle ng creature. I did that with 3 rounds. Yun yung description. Stress na stress sila, hindi na alam anong gagawin. Kasi nag-miss na yung mga attack nila. After session na lang nila na-realize, nakita pala ng totoo description.
You know, pinatay ni Albert was like, he kept saying it over and over again. There is no armor there.
Oo. Hindi yung funny rin naman. Ito na siguro yung what I like about Albert during those times. Albert's character kasi, si Smack, and he can only say Smack. So, ayaw niya break character. So, nakita ko na yung frustration sa kanya. The rest of the parts, na parang, ito na nga, yun na yung opening. Kaya parang, push, swak. So, may lang salita lang siya ng swak.
Ayos din yung interaction na yun. Hindi, yung parang ayaw niya mag-break ng immersion dahil nag-roleplaying nga. Pero, kita mo na frustrated na siya, no?
Yung out-of-character audience niya as Albert is parang ito na yung pag nanonood ka ng show sa TV, di ba? Yung tinatawag mo ng tanga or inaasar mo na yung mga characters sa TV show kasi parang yun yung ano to, that's how easy you can beat that thing.
in my defense, it was crazy after I jumped into some water.
Well, to be fair rin naman, during that time rin naman, everyone was really stressed out. Everything was happening.
Getting hit so hard. They had to keep healing each other.
So basically, yung entire combat na yun, ramdam nila yung 6 seconds kada action. 6
seconds kada.
Okay.
Ramdam nila yung 6 seconds kada action. So intense. So yun lang naman in terms of description. Yung namin ni Gigi, yun talaga yung nag-stick na sa akin. We had a good laugh after the session. We had a good laugh talaga. Maski si Albert.
That was so good.
Gusto ko talaga yung mga sa totoo lang, I'll be honest. Gusto ko yung mga character ni Albert.
Oh my God.
Hi.
I guess ito rin, ano, before siguro we can take a break. I just want to ask you guys yung parang one question. When you guys create a character, do you start with the concept first or do you go with the class?
Oh, good question.
For me, that depends. It's either something will hit me as a concept and then it can be either or really. But a lot of the time, because I make a lot of characters, if it's class first, it's always gonna be a matter of I haven't played this in a while. Sure, what can I make out of that? You know,
Okay.
and then like it's either like character concept is like fit into the class or class and then fit straight into the character concept. Where we're like, oh, this is why this person is a sorcerer. That's where that wild magic shit came from. Versus like, oh. I mean, I just want to play a little fucking gremlin that makes drugs. So, you know, it can really depend on like how I'm feeling about a thing. But like, if anything, bottom line for me, it's always going to depend on the game. If it's a full campaign versus if it's like a one shot. If it's a full campaign, I would have to think a lot more on like backstory, and I would have to think of the longevity of this character and whether I would get tired of playing a certain way for a while. Like, I mean, like I can play like an asshole for a one shot, but I don't want to be an asshole throughout the way. Depending on what kind of an asshole that guy is, you know.
Gigi ang tawag doon, character development.
Yeah, that's true. Character development. But like, yeah. It would also depend on the game, talaga. If it's a one shot, you can just really like. I think for one shots, it would be like, concept first, because I can just like make this, like have a fun day and like maybe pick it up again later, but like probably gonna not be picked up, especially if it's like a really out there concept, like one of the meme ones, versus if it's a like a campaign wherein like you have to think a lot more of like how much do I enjoy playing this class really, or like if I'm gonna be playing a lot of games like one shots and shit like that after this, but like this one is going to be the consistent game that I have, like uh I want to play something that I'm not gonna play in other games so that I get the experience with this kind of class here. I also want to like know what the rest of the party has, where they're like, okay, shit, do y'all need a healer? You know, or like yeah, and then like it would be a sort of like for like choosing a class would like be one of the first things, but then like concept and everything would come like very soon after, because like personally that just comes a little bit quicker to me, where like backstory shit just like pops up in my brain. But I guess it's a difference of like concept and backstory as well, in terms of that. So yeah.
Ikaw, CJ, you have any,
Okay.
like, how do you create your
Okay. How do I create my characters? So, ilang best we have many games that we're running right now, di ba? So, magiging honest ulit ako, yung lahat ng characters ko, mostly galing siya sa pop culture. Every single thing siguro na biglang maisip ko. From Spike, yung character ko for Cyberpunk 20 Cyberpunk Red ba? Or ano dyan? Carbon 218, sorry. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk. Uh, Spike, which is an anime character, Cowboy Bebop. Kumbaga parang kinukuha ko yung ano nila, yung essence ng character na yun. Si Spike, what is Spike? Sa Cowboy Bebop, he's an outlaw, 'di ba? So, nung ginawa ko si Spike, ano ba yung naging ano niya, pinaka trait niya nung Carbon. He is sa anime, Spike is a space pirate or something like that. Pero dun sa Carbon game na ginawa natin, Spike is a scammer, to say the least. He sells faulty electrical devices. Then kinuha ko yung for character development naman niya or mga backstory niya siguro. For Spike personally, inisip ko lang siya kung ano yung siguro dramatic or traumatic, kung ano mang mag-fit for that scenario. Kumbaga since we're transitioning to cyberpunk na and iba na yung backstory ni Spike doon. Ang backstory ni Spike sa Carbon is hindi Spike ang real name niya. He just changed it because he was wanted. Then for Jabberwock, Beelzebub, I was reading Beelzebub at that time. Then Jabberwock is names of one of the villains doon. Then sabi ko, he's strong. He uses martial arts. So, ano bang magandang... So, nung binasa ko yung handbook, sabi ko, ano bang maganda? Oh, Monk! Monk is a great class. Then, yung character ni Jabberwock dun sa manga or sa anime, may gills or parang gills na Dragonborn. So, sabi ko, okay, hindi naman siya true na Dragonborn dun sa series. Pero, okay, wala akong maisip na lagyan ng gills for my character. So, let's go for Dragonborn. Yun yung pinakamalapit. Then, pero for the concept, I mostly take talaga from pop culture. Then, iniiba ko lang siya. Nilalagyan ko lang siya ng konting twist ko. Ang outlier lang doon sa mga characters ko, si Frankie. Kasi, 'di ba parang yun yung Frankie is for a one shot lang. So, I never gave a thought kay Frankie na ang goal lang is to be dumb as fuck talaga. Frankie is dumb. Yun talaga yung pinaka ano niya.
Well,
So,
it's easier to play talaga mga stupid characters than complex ones.
so naisip ko, okay, ano ba yung mga stereotypical sa mga fantasy genres na kapag sinabi mo, pag naisip mo yung character mo dumb, ano yung ano niya? Okay, Goliath. Okay, Goliath.
Oh god. Big, strong, but dumb.
Big, strong, dumb guy. Frankie. So, yun talaga yung pinaka hindi ko binigyan ng malalim na backstory or anything. Parang backstory lang niya, umalis siya sa tribe niya, then he just wanders off and tried to gain money. Kaya siya sumali dun sa cult na sinalihan niya. Cult? De, for Finn, yes. Finn is from an anime. Alam niyo yung Mashal? Yung new anime ngayon, yung Magic and Muscles. So, Mashal yung shorter name niya. So, he is a wimp and he doesn't have any magic at all or doesn't have strong magic dun sa series. Kaya, for dun sa character concept ko naman for Finn, sabi ko, okay, paano natin ipapasok yung wimp character niya doon sa ano. Medyo spoiler to for Gigi pero alam naman na RM. Finn is a first-time adventurer. So, he's a wimp. He just looks and acts like he knows everything. Sobrang arrogant niya, right? Parang he likes money, parang give me this. Parang sobrang confident niya. Pero, truth to be told, he's scared. That's why, no muntik siyang mamatay last session for the Kunetas. He's scarred for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, mostly, kung ano lang talaga yung napapanood, di na napapanood or na-consume kong pop culture for the week or for the month na bigla akong may isip. Yeah, yun. Ikaw,
Okay.
RM, paano ka gumagawa ng ano? Ikaw,
Character?
yeah, kasi 'di ba ikaw nag-player ka din. Meron kang si Serimar.
Hindi. I guess kasi when I approach character creation sa D&D, ang treatment ko na lang is how I approach character when given a role. So yeah, siguro I treat D&D as my second outlet for theater, parang ganun. So when I create a character, I start with what experience I can offer. Like parang kay Zerimar. I am like typecasted back then to playing people in authority sa mga productions namin. And I just took a page from one of those and fleshed out Zerimar as such. Parang namili na lang ako whoever person with authority and went from there. Then I started with that and then the occupation. And then basically I started with yung inside of the character and working my way out. So parang later na lang na yung class, yung race and all that. That's how I create my characters at the moment. Maski yung sa yung sa one shot ni Gigi, I start with internal experience and then work my way to race and then finally class.
Wait, hindi ko pa nami-meet yung character mo.
Oh yeah. So, sobrang sad. Dun siguro yun
ng roles. Man with experience and knows what he's doing, but cannot get the roles to actually say that he does.
Oh, yun nga eh. Yun rin siguro, medyo nasad nga rin ako dun eh. When the dice says, damn.
Well, we are in the mercy of the dice gods. Ganun talaga.
Oh.
So, that's it. And with that, that's where we end our session for today. So, what a great way to end the session. Talking about the dice gods that may or may not exist and can and maybe can or cannot hear us. So, but before we go, we have news for you. Alam ko medyo late na, but we're currently at Conquest right now, right at this moment. Conquest 2023. we're at it right now. Maybe playing D&D or maybe doing something related to D&D or cosplaying as our D&D characters or maybe just roaming around Conquest. I don't know. We're just going to have fun here. But I'll try to blog it so we can post it here to the channel for everyone to see for you adventurers. And also before we go, you can support Gigi by subscribing to her group's D&D play to her group's D&D playthrough channel Wouldn't Be 20, or if you're interested with having new dices or your minis printed, you can go to Dice Reno PH for more. I'll put the link below the description so you can see it. So that's it for Tavern Talk today. Don't forget to subscribe, and share this page to help your boys out. So see you at our next session.